Namaskara, Vanakkam, the South Indian is here. In our cultures, rivers are worshipped because they give sustenance. Unlike in any other country, I think, save Bangladesh, where the Padma River, or as it is pronounced, Padda River, which is really looked up to because it gives them food and sustenance. In India, if you look at it, much like the Ganga up north, the Krishna, the Godavari, the Kaveri, they all give us sustenance. And therefore, for South Indians, the rivers are demigods, mothers, call it anything. They are something which nourishes your life. Today, our focus is on, unfortunately, Cauvery dispute between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. This dispute between the two states has flared up like an unattended old wound. H.D. Devegowda has written to the Prime Minister asking him to intervene in the ongoing Cauvery water dispute between Tamil Nadu and Karnataka and constitute an independent expert panel to derive a water sharing formula.
Southwest monsoon and the northeast monsoon, how it is going to help Tamil Nadu. All details I have covered, and it is now, I hope and trust, the Honorable Prime Minister will ask. The issue was raised in the Raj Sabha, and at that time also I made an appeal. I hope, sincerely trust, the Prime Minister will certainly take action and see that further damage will not going to take place. So far as Karnataka is concerned, with these words, I again stress on the point, you people should only confine for the issues that have been raised in this letter, including the latest photo that has been placed before all of you.
Indeed, the patriarch of the JDS, a man who was once Prime Minister of this country, H.D. Devegowda, who knows the Cauvery issue like the back of his palm, is making an appeal to Prime Minister Narendra Modi to now intervene. This was of course supported by Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, who hailed Devegowda's idea. Now this is completely my take, but I am wondering why Rahul Gandhi can't step in and make Moka Stalin and Siddaramaiah sit together to solve the Cauvery dispute. You may ask why. Why not? Considering both Stalin and Siddaramaiah are part of the India bloc, I think it's time Rahul Gandhi should step in and try and solve the issue. Let's listen into what CM Siddaramaiah had to say.
ಬಂದ್ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು, ಆತಾಳ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು, ಮೆರವಣಿಗೆ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ಇದೆ. ಬಂದ್ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನೋದೇ ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್. ಬಟ್ ನಾವೇನೋ ಅಡ್ಡಿಪಡಿಸಕ್ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ಕಾವೇರಿ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಅನ್ನ ರಾಜಕೀಯಗೊಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ರಾಜಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರನೇ ಹೊರತು ಜನರ ಹಿತದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದಾಗಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ನಾಡಿನ ಹಿತದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದಾಗಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ನಾವು ಬಂದ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಬಂದ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಅವಕಾಶ ಇದೆ. ಆದರೆ ಕೋರ್ಟು ಯಾವುದೇ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ, ಸಭೆಗಳನ್ನ ನಡೆಸಬಾರದು, ಪ್ರತಿಭಟನೆ ಮಾಡಬಾರದು.
I'm coming back to Rahul Gandhi because that's the question I'm asking all of you today. Can Rahul solve the Cauvery row? Should not Rahul Gandhi be solving the Cauvery row? After all, he is the votary of Mohabbat Ki Dukaan and can actually open shop by brokering peace between Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. The latest on Cauvery is of course a kind of setback for the Karnataka government, as the Cauvery Water Regulation Committee ordered to release 3,000 cusecs of water to Tamil Nadu for 18 days starting from 28th of September. In the virtual meeting which was held a while ago, Tamil Nadu stuck to its demand of 12,500 cusecs of water. However, let me also add that a final decision on the matter will be taken at a meeting which is to be held by the Cauvery Water Management Authority later this week. But I am coming back to that question. Why can't Rahul Gandhi, with whom we saw Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar walking during Bharat Jodo Yatra, subsequently they formed the India bloc. We saw that Rahul Gandhi is one of the moving forces of the India bloc. If Deve Gowda can ask Prime Minister Modi ji to come and solve it, why can't Rahul do? Where is his Mohabbat ki dukaan? Or because he's from the north, he will not get into the affairs of the south. But come on, he's an MP from Wayanad. So I think Rahul Gandhi should actually see to it that he brokers peace between Muka Stalin and Siddaramaiah. But right now, let's look at what is happening around. Evoking memories of riots in several parts of Karnataka in 1991 on the same issue, ladies and gentlemen, Kaveri, which resulted in 16 deaths. Section 144 has now been imposed in the state, which has witnessed large-scale protest in areas such as Mysuru, Mandya, Chamarajanagara and Ramanagara. The protests have also spread to neighbouring Tamil Nadu. Trade unions, farmer groups and pro-Kannada organizations participated in the Bandh, which has been supported by the state unit of BJP and also the JDS. Bengaluru almost came to a standstill as schools and colleges have been shut down, and also commercial establishments as well as app-based transport services. Take a look at the protest visuals. I'll come back to you in a moment. Those are the visuals which are coming from Tamil Nadu. You can see that is the picture of Chief Minister of Karnataka, Siddaramaiah. The farmers are protesting against what they call is an unfair deal to Tamil Nadu. Those are the protests which are coming from Tiruchirappalli, where you can see farmers and even women farmers. They are also joining in their protest. It's a very unique kind of a protest that you see which is unfolding in Tamil Nadu. In Tamil, yematade means don't make fools out of us. So lots of protest across Karnataka. as well as in Tamil Nadu. Of course, we are getting reports that the protest in Karnataka was not so much virulent, but it did throw normal life out of gear. Meanwhile, Karnataka Transport Minister Ramalinga Reddy reached the site of the protest, and here's what he said to those who were protesting.
Chief Minister will call senior leaders of this agitation. He will call and he will discuss in 2-3 days.
So have you requested them to withdraw the bun, sir? Have you requested them to take it back, sir?
Usually they will take back.
So they are saying right in front of you, they are saying we will not take back the bun.
I will talk to the concerned people.
Okay, sir, right now the CWRC is meeting in New Delhi, sir. What is the stand of the state government now, sir? Will you not
We don't
release
have
water?
water. We don't have water. Where is the water to live? We don't have water. That decision CM has to take.
You know, the Kaveri dispute is centuries old, much before even 1947 when our country got independence. So there have been several turns and twists. But the protest this time around, ladies and gentlemen, is against the order of Cauvery Water Disputes Tribunal, which is CWDT, which asked the Karnataka government to continue releasing 5,000 cusecs, which is of course now become 3,000. Of water, which according to the latest order, like I said, is now 3,000 to Tamil Nadu for another 18 days at various points. Karnataka government expressed its complete inability, helplessness to give any more water to Tamil Nadu, citing a distress here, and announced how there was a terrible rain deficit, and I am not putting the percentage to it because somewhere it says 14, somewhere it says 19, so but there is a terrible rain deficit in Karnataka, and 195 talukas which are facing severe drought in Karnataka. Therefore, whether it is 3,000 or 5,000 cusecs for Karnataka, it is a very big drain on the state. And everyone, you heard Ramalinga Reddy speaking, Siddaramaiah says the same thing, we don't have water. But this is what D.K. Shivakumar has said, who of course also recommends that the Mekadatu dam should be built sooner rather than later. Listen in to DKS.
ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನ ನಾಗರಿಕರಿಗೆ ಸಂಘಟನೆಗಾರರಿಗೆ ಅಭಿನಂದಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಬಹಳ ಶಾಂತಿಯುತವಾಗಿ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಇದೆ. ಪ್ರತಿಭಟನೆ ಮಾಡೋರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ದೇನು ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅವರ ಧ್ವನಿ ಹೋರಾಟ ನಾವು ಯಾರು ಕೂಡ ಮಟ್ಟ ಹಾಕಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೆ ತಯಾರಿಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಹಕಾರನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ರಾಜ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಗೌರವನು ಕೂಡ ಕಾಪಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಂಘಟನೆಗಾರರಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಅಭಿನಂದಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. 12,500 ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ನಾವು ಬಿಡಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಆಗಲ್ಲ. 5,000ನೇ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ, ಇನ್ನು 12,000ಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ನಾವು ನಮ್ದು ಅಪೀಲ್ ಅಂತೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ, 5,000 ಬಿಡಕ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ.
The central government is also keeping a very close watch on the Kaveri situation. Meanwhile, Tamil Nadu is also refusing to blink and had approached the Supreme Court asking the Karnataka government to release 7,200 cusecs of water per day from Karnataka's reservoirs. But Karnataka says, look, our reservoirs are completely empty. It said that the CWMA had mechanically reduced the quantity to 5,000 cusecs per day against an amount of 7,200 cusecs per day, which is now reduced to 3,000 cusecs only. The protest in Tamil Nadu is for what the state thinks is its fair share of Cauvery water. That's why the farmers were saying, Yematade, Yematade, means don't make a fool of us. And here is what people said on the protest.
The government of Siddaramaiah, D.K. Shivkumar released water without consulting any party, did not have any all-party consultation, did not consult the farmers, and they released water under the pressure of DMK. As you know, DMK and Congress cannot survive without the DMK in Tamil Nadu. And Congress had succumbed to the pressures of DMK and the IND-UPA coalition. The BJP in Karnataka has made it very clear that we will stand firm on the rights of our farmers, rights of our citizens of Karnataka, and we will not allow any coalition politics or any opportunistic politics to come in the way of the interest of the people of Karnataka.
Now we are thinking about drinking water. We are fighting about drinking water. So before last 4-5 years back, Supreme Court judgment you see, very important issue. Drinking water is a very important. Whichever government taken, very important issue, drinking water, essential. So that we are demanding for the save our Karnataka people, our Bengaluru people, so that we are declaring the month.
I totally understand what Rajiv Chandrasekhar is saying, but the point is that right now I am asking you yet another question, and that is, if the dispute has to be solved, it could have been solved when Bommai was Chief Minister, it could have been solved when Yadurappa was the Chief Minister. It hasn't, right? So the thing is, perhaps Rahul Gandhi with his Mohabbat ki Dukaan can step in and solve the water dispute between the two states. Anyway, as I always say, the Kaveri dispute is centuries old, and despite many tribunals and panels and even the apex court intervening many times, it is a millstone around the state's necks. It is time to look at the dispute from several other angles, and one of them is, I am sorry, I am repeating myself, but trying to drill this in, that can Rahul Gandhi not step in at this time of distress? Let's debate, and I have a very distinguished panel today. Dr. Prakash Kamardi, who is former chairperson of Karnataka Agricultural Price Commission, Government of India. Raj Bhagat Palaniswamy, who is geoanalytics experts, and he is going to tell us the solutions which can be gotten from the dispute. Darshan Puttanaya, who is an MLA from Melkote constituency and General Secretary of KRRS Farmers Movement, but he is joining us on the phone line. Captain Raja Rao, who is retired Secretary MI Environment, Government of Karnataka. A very warm welcome to all of you on the show. Namaskara. Let me, ask you turn by turn. You see, the thing is that if you read the Cauvery dispute, it's centuries old. It's much before independence. They have tried everything. I mean, this is just a kind of an experimental question, but I think for me it holds a lot of meaning. I'll start with Dr. Kamardi. You think that Rahul Gandhi should perhaps step in? And I ask you that question because both Stalin as well as Siddaramaiah form part of the India bloc. Do you think it is possible for him, or should he not be sitting there and brokering peace between the two?
Namaste, Sudha madam. Can you hear me?
Yes, namaskara.
Yeah, namaskara. That is not a good idea, madam, at this point of time. Already, Rahul Gandhi is very much there. Because of him, both DMK and Congress are in the so-called India bloc. Because of him, water has been released. So it is highly politicized. It is not the Rahul Gandhi. I will fully endorse Sri Devegowda's suggestion. It is a time, madam, sent us to intervene. In a federal structure, unnecessary fight between the center and the state is bad. It is as bad as two neighboring states.
Yeah, but I'm saying this because it has not been. The India bloc was not there before this.
You are wrong, madam. First, Prime Minister of India should enter.
Yeah, let me come back to you. So you think it's a bad idea, Raj? What do you think?
Absolutely, he is already there.
Sir, please wait for Dr. Prakash. I'll come to you. Raj Bhagat Palaniswamy. Raj, what do you think? Do you think, there has to be a way out of this? We can have tribunals and panels and committees sitting there and pontificating, but nothing has happened. Today again, what happened in 1991, of course, it's under control, is repeating itself in Bengaluru and Mandya and Chamarajanagar everywhere. I am saying that if two states can sit and kind of possibly sit around with other stakeholders and solve the issue, don't you think it's good for both the states?
Good evening, madam. So actually, yes, kind of it is a diplomatic process. Eventually, it is a diplomatic process. But the underlying issue is also a little bit of socio-economic in nature as well. There is aspirations from both the states, right? Like, so I mean, as we go, like, I mean, citizens of both the state are as important as the other. It cannot be solved overnight. It cannot be. Because to me, actually, the problem is that Kaveri is a heavily exploited river. It doesn't matter whether it is Karnataka or whether it is Tamil Nadu, it is an over-exploited river. We have taken a lot out of it. So in years of flooding, of course, we'll not have much.
I'll come to you, Raj, but I just wanted to start the show. So you think it could be a diplomatic, effort so that the problem is solved? Darshan, you've seen this very, very up close for many years, and I read about you, how you have been in the middle of all this. Do you think that it's a good idea, perhaps, as a diplomatic, olive branch, as it were, for Rahul Gandhi to perhaps help mediate, like Devagowda ji has asked Narendra Modi to mediate? But do you think that Rahul Gandhi, someone who is a very prominent figure in the India bloc, could also perhaps broker peace? Darshan, what do you think?
At this point, I don't really mind who comes in, who steps in. I think it is at the end of the day, all we need is this issue to be solved immediately.
Yes.
I think we are in dire need of water here. Drinking water is fading away. So I think we would definitely start with Devagowda ji's suggestion to start with the Honorable Prime Minister to step in, and if it helps, and if everybody thinks that Rahul Gandhi can also step in and help, so be it. Right at this point, I'm not going to say this way or that way, as long as the issue gets resolved.
Yes, that's the way I was also looking at it. As long as the issue gets resolved, I think politics should be kept out of it. Captain Raja Rao, can you hear me, sir? Captain Rao?
Yes.
Captain Rao, I want to ask you what I asked the other guests as the first question. Do you think, as a diplomatic kind of effort for the problem to be solved, perhaps Rahul Gandhi can step in and try and broker peace between Stalin and Siddaramaiah, sir? Captain Rao?
The diplomatic resolution is possible provided all the four basin states agree and submit a request for such an intervention. If it is possible, then Prime Minister will have a role and he can play. That's what happened in Telugu Ganga.
Yes.
When 5 TMC of water from all the three basin states gave it to Tamil Nadu for drinking purpose. So such situation, is it possible in the present political environment?
Right, that's very well said, very well said. Dr. Prakash, let me come to you first, and although we will not be able to, there is a long list of problems between Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, but I am asking you that certain things which have been, which are definites, in the sense you have to, got to do this, do you see a flaw? For instance, of Tamil Nadu's overall allocated quantity, Karnataka is to ensure 177 TMC feet as per a monthly schedule. Of this quantity, 123 TMC feet is to be given during the period from June to September. Dr. Prakash, do you think that what has been adhered to or what is supposed to be done, I mean, don't you think that there should be a rethink on all this? Because rivers have changed, dams have changed, reservoirs have changed. Dr. Prakash. Please unmute yourself, sir. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're perfectly right, madam. And added to this, the climate change impact is enormous here. It is a delayed monsoon. So that the quantum of water you have mentioned during the normal rainfall season. So in that time, water would have flown much more than what is actually expected. The problem is the deficit. There is no clear-cut stand on the deficit rainfall, that too in the time of the delayed monsoon. So what should have been done, in my opinion, in a state like Karnataka, we are in Bengaluru, a terrible information gap. We don't get the real picture, madam. The claim and counter claims. The Karnataka says, it is a 52% deficit in the inflow. Then Tamil Nadu claims, we need the water, so much, water to be released. So what is the situation? On what basis the Cauvery Water Management Authority has given order to release 3,000? What is the basis? Whether they have taken the drinking water in a deficit, looking into the deficit rainfall situation. What is the real situation, so to convince both the side, this is the situation, this much of water. So simply, we need the order. We need the every time, we expect, there should be some basis to convince.
Right. So, yeah, I understood that. I got it. Okay. Darshan, from 5,000 to 3,000, already Tamil Nadu was saying, I don't accept 5,000. I want maybe 7,200 or 12,500, whatever that be. But to reduce it, like Dr. Prakash says, from 5,000 to 3,000, where is this logic coming from? Whether it is both the authorities, if you look at it, I mean, what is the logic? And I think perhaps that's why the apex court said, listen, we are withdrawing, you solve it between these two.
I think there's already a formula in place in the Supreme Court order. I think we have to definitely take into consideration that, when this formula is applied, you easily can figure out how much water can be released. If you understand the ground realities of water, forget about the distress formula, forget about all the other numbers. If you just take a look at the amount of water that's available in Karnataka, in the dams, there is absolutely no way there is enough water for us to release. We have less than half of the capacity that is required for just drinking water. We are not even requesting or demanding water for our crops. There is a lot of standing crops that people have actually demanding water for. We are not. We are just asking for drinking water. So I think that's I don't know how this decision was actually made, but if they really understood the ground realities of what it is today here in Karnataka, I don't think they would have actually made this decision.
All right, and let me now come to Raj, and then I'll go to Captain Rao. Raj, tell me something. I mean, I read your Twitter, or what is now called X thread, where you talk about dams and reservoirs. And, just now you heard Darshan, who's been in the middle of this. Darshan, are you wearing that green as a symbol of supporting farmers?
Yeah, this is my everyday attire.
Yeah, so,
yeah.
So therefore, he's somebody who's been in this, and, so he says that there are two things here. First is, what is with this agreement if the reservoirs and dams, because of deficit of water, they are running dry? How can you then give it to Tamil Nadu? So what was somebody thinking? And secondly, is it imperative today to be dependent on these dams and reservoirs, or time for someone, like I said, let Rahul Gandhi step in, ladies and gentlemen, time for a new methodology, Raj?
So, I mean, first, of course, a methodology that could have been created, I mean, much better methodology could have been created, of course, that I totally agree with it. But unfortunately, the states have been entangled in the legal aspect for so long that there will be disinterest in moving it. I mean, in the sense like there will be, I mean, if you are having a dispute for so long and just now there is, orders have come in, there is a practical limitation into how it is. But what both states need to work is that, of course, it has to work on the irrigation efficiency part. Water productivity is what we call it as how much water is required for our crops and everything. And in my perspective, in most of India, it is not limited to Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. But Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, we are using a lot of water intense crops, as well as, our irrigation systems are also slightly inefficient. But this is not a problem of the farmers. I mean, the governments should come up with some schemes so that, it can improve the efficiency, because they require a lot of financial support, governance support, and so many other things. Those kind of long-term schemes is what I feel is missing. These kind of disputes and everything, I mean, this year it will come back. I mean, after 4 or 5 years, it will again come back. But it will repeat. So the thing is
therefore,
that
I'll come to you. I'll come to all of you for long-term solutions. Let me go to Captain Rao. Captain Rao, you're an expert. I mean, your write-ups on the issue is something that everyone goes by. I'm asking you what Dr. Prakash asked. From 5,000 to 3,000 cusecs of water, what is the logic, Captain Rao? Is someone just randomly releasing all this? Because already there is trouble in both the states, sir.
Yes, madam. Here is the main question is, whenever you demand water, there must be a justification. As far as the present demand of Tamil Nadu, for all these 3-4 demands where CWC has slightly reduced and ordered, what is really missing is that water really required by Tamil Nadu right now? It's a question which one has to ask. See, for example, as on today, what they have ordered for 3,000, they have already 26 TMC in their reservoir, 2 reservoirs, and 10 TMC of groundwater they have yet to use, which is ordered by Supreme Court. That means 36 TMC is in their pockets right now. And after starting 15 days, Northeast monsoon, which gives them 237 TMC, will be available for them. So where is the need? When the demand for drinking water in Bengaluru and Mysore and other urban cities are in the great demand, these irrigation demands should be given priority. That is what CWMA and CWRC should have questioned themselves. They have not done that.
Dr. Rao, then Dr. Rao, how come that, even otherwise, it is seen to it that the crop yield is much better in Tamil Nadu. Am I right? Compared to Karnataka?
Pardon?
Am I right?
Pardon?
That the yield of crop is much better in Tamil Nadu as compared to Karnataka. Isn't that right?
No, that is, no, especially they also only grow paddy mostly. So paddy here also is better because we have.
No, I am asking you in the context that if they already have water and their crops are doing better, whereas Karnataka has said 195 talukas, there is going to be drought, there is water shortage, Bengaluru doesn't have drinking water, several areas don't have drinking water. So the authority, whether it is water management, CWMA or CWRC, these two, what logic do they apply by saying give 3,000 cusecs for 18 days, until 28th of September, sir?
Definitely there is no logic, madam. Actually, literally speaking, Tamil Nadu has over-appropriated because they have extended their Kuduvai crop more than what has been permitted. That is why they are asking for more and more water.
Right. Darshan, I want to ask you, because I think you must have visited a lot of places. Am I right, where the protests are still going on? Because when I spoke to you earlier, I could hear the background noises, people raising slogans. So I want to ask you this, that, 1991 was a terrible year where we saw, a lot of Tamil establishment. That should never happen, in a democracy like ours. But tell me something, that what is it that the farmers, you've been speaking to them, what do they want? I'm sure they don't want that don't give water to Tamil Nadu. I refuse to believe it. They will never talk like that, So what is actually their demand now, Darshan?
I mean, it's like you said, I don't think any of us here are saying don't give water to Tamil Nadu. I think all we are trying to say, including all the farmers on the ground here, is let's actually make sure we have enough water for drinking purposes. Then, like I said earlier, they're all, I mean, the government already had said, don't cultivate because of the poor monsoons we've had. So if you look at it, of the 4,000 lakh hectares, about half of it is actually cultivated. And even then, they are not demanding water for their crops because we know the state where, how much water we have in the reservoir. So, they are saying, let's actually save water for drinking purposes. And we already had many discussions with the government of coming up with a special package for the farmers who actually already planted.
Yeah.
And the socioeconomic impact is big. We are not even talking about that because they don't have any way for their livelihood. So, like you said, I don't think any of us are saying no to give water to Tamil Nadu. We don't have water. That's why we're saying, and we are all fighting hard to make sure we have water for drinking purposes.
Right. Dr. Prakash, many chief ministers have come and gone. Many farmers have protested, hit the roads. I mean, we saw visuals and we'll play them out again. You know, but the point is, Dr. Prakash, what do you think is the way out? Because there have been tribunals, the apex court has also. Is it somewhere that these real stakeholders are not included when they are looking for solutions, Dr. Prakash? I mean, look at all of you. I'm not just saying all of you. There must be many more people like this. Why aren't people like you included in this?
Madam, you are absolutely right. I don't think, looking into the severity of the problem, emotionally so deep and highly politicized, neither government nor the judiciary could solve this problem. The only way forward is the people's initiative. The stakeholders from both the sides. Let us assume for a time being, it is a fight between, unfortunately, two states, linguistically divided. Tamil Nadu versus Karnataka. Let us assume Kaveri starts from Talakaveri and ends in the Pampuha. Let us assume the whole Kaveri basin is a state. What would have been our approach? I think the 2001 water resource policy also precisely gives the solution to manage a river based on their entire basin. Now we have a toothless Kaveri basin authority. We have to make that is a very empowered one. Let there be farmers representatives from both the side. From Tamil Nadu, within that, farmers representatives, they should have some sort of election, see that, Let them decide. Let not give it to the highly politicized situation to the either center or state or the judiciary has failed, madam. With all these efforts, tribunals, management authority, they cannot resolve, they cannot move in 1 inch,
Right, that's why I said, Dr. Prakash, that maybe Rahul Gandhi can also step in and look at it from the angle of, brokering peace between the two states. Because you said that the judiciary has failed, tribunals have failed, the stakeholders are kept out of these meetings. So maybe a strong, like, Darshan said, why not? I want a problem for this. I don't want problem for farmers to increase. So maybe that's what, I thought about it hard today, because Captain Rao has written reams and reams and I've read. Oh my God, there doesn't seem to be a solution. Even, I mean, I'm a journalist. I mean, people like you, if you have not been able to find one, I wonder, what can, because it's about egos also somewhere. It's about Kannadiga pride. It's about Tamil pride, So I think all that has to be set aside, and maybe Rahul Gandhi is, for the moment, the right candidate. Raj, tell me something. Crops, the kind of crops, because paddy takes up a lot of water and both the states are growing crops. Do you think that apart from everything, the Kaveri dispute also needs to relook at the crop cultivation? Unmute yourself, Raj.
Sorry. So yes, we have to certainly work on the crop, between paddy, sugarcane and other crops. I mean, the states should come up with, watershed management plans, a very good scientific plan on how to do this. And that is where it begins. I mean, a good study of it and how we can create a financial incentive around how to make it more productive. And that is the long-term solution. The population is going to increase, industrialization is going to increase. It is forever the water demand is going to be on increase. And the question is that how do we conserve it, right? Like, so this is water level is rainwater will be like some years you'll have plenty, some years you're going to have dry, but it's not going to significantly change. So we just have to judiciously use the water that we have, and both the states should come up with some kind of a water management plan at the watershed level for these states, and how they want to drive the next 20-30 years with respect to with deficit amount of water, how it is going to be, and how they are going to irrigate, what are the financial schemes and incentives and everything. Right. So that is where the solution is. Yeah,
Captain Rao, with tempers running high on both sides, I hope they all sit across the table and talk peacefully. I mean,
Madam,
I know,
I need,
you know,
can I come in?
Yeah, sure, sir.
Can I come?
Yes, sir.
So, Madam, the major problem here in the Cauvery Basin is inadequate reservoir capacities, especially in Tamil Nadu, because both the reservoirs that are there, Bengaluru and Bhavani, they receive water only during southwest monsoon. All 237 TMC that falls on Tamil Nadu during northeast, they have no storage. So during that period, land cannot absorb all that water for crops. It will go waste. That is why there is a need for additional storage either in Karnataka or in Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu says they cannot go for storage because they lose precious land which is flat and lot of submersion will come. So the only solution is Mediate project or any other project in Karnataka. As far as on that river, 4 projects can be constructed, 2 by Tamil Nadu and 2 by Karnataka. Tamil Nadu could be run up the river scheme, whereas our Mediate project is a must. Otherwise, we will have similar problems throughout the good year.
Yeah, because I see, he's right, because we've been having these perennial problems, whether it is distress here, whether it is shortage of water for Karnataka, which of course is short of water. There are no two ways about it, but come on, we require a solution. We can't have this every time. August, September, around Vinayak Chaturthi, it's the same story. I mean, I'm that much older now and I've seen this year after year. So therefore, I think maybe stakeholders and Rahul Gandhi can step in. That's why I said this. Being the South Indian, that's what I thought. Let me now go across and ask them as to what can be the solution now. First up, Darshan, what do you think should be the solution now going forward, Darshan?
An immediate solution is, I think we just have to, be realistic about how much water is available and come up with a plan to make sure Karnataka has enough drinking water. The long-term solution, which needs immediate action, is that we have to start planning. We have to start planning about, what is the crop pattern going to be for the coming year. I think even before that, we have to start thinking about, let's actually look at our history and come up with predictions of, how much rainfall, how much water is going to be expected. Based on that, we can definitely we definitely have to work with the local farmers to educate them on what crops they should be planting, so the consumption of water is actually minimal. And then I mean, this should be a collective effort between both the states and somebody from the center intervening, in this whole process. So that I think that's a solution that we'll have to start working towards next year. I'm afraid that we'll probably, be in the same situation 10 months down the line, and we all will be protesting.
But Darshan, you said that maybe Rahul Gandhi is also not a bad idea, right? I keep stressing on that because why not?
Like I said, I don't mind anybody as long as the issues get resolved. Whoever is in the room who can actually get attention from both the sides and make sure the permanent solution and the long-term solution that's there.
Right. Dr. Prakash, what do you think should be the solution now going forward so that next year we can all meet, but not on Kaveri, but maybe on some other occasion? Unmute yourself, sir.
The larger issue, madam, we have to save Kaveri. Kaveri is highly depleted in Karnataka side, in the Western Ghats side, highly polluted. I think someone said, it is a 6 times higher than the Ganga. I think a highly polluted river. Let us save the Kaveri. The narrative should start from the saving the Kaveri. Then followed by that, let me repeat, an empowered, fully representative Cauvery Water Management Authority. There should be representation from either side.
Right.
From farmers as well as experts, whoever you want, to see that in highly empowered, autonomous, they should take a decision.
Right.
So in that case, you cannot pinpoint, Tamil versus Karnataka, judiciary versus central government. We have to come out with an innovative solution for such a serious problem. It's highly dynamic in nature, madam. It's because of the climate change impact is very, very enormous here.
Right. Raj, what do you think should be the long-term solution? I mean, going forward.
I want the states to come up, just like I said, like I want the states to come up with a watershed management plan that talks about the water demand right now and water demand that is there in the basins right now, as well as the future demand that what it is going to be, and we have to plan accordingly, and we have to create financial institutions and governance institutions to support them. So I see it as a lot of technical solutions have to be in place along with a diplomatic effort, and that is where I see there should be a watershed management plan for Kaveri with respect to both the states.
All right, Dr. Captain Rao, what do you think should be the final, as in some concrete decision to be taken on the Kaveri dispute, sir?
Yes, sir. First, frame the deficit formula immediately. Then, during surplus years, you have to store water for which additional storages are required. Think of alternative storage like Mercadatu. Then engage, explore the delta area for more and more groundwater. Definitely, there is more groundwater. Government of India should step in, and the expert committee should be set up to examine what is safely extractable groundwater. And there is a possibility of alternate dispute resolution in the form of use NDRF funds. And deficit year is not every year. Once in 3 or 4 years, probably NDRF can come to the rescue. You can broaden the NDRF approach and give relief to the suffering state.
All right. On that note, let me thank all the guests and, Darshan, thank you very much. Dr. Prakash, thank you indeed. Raj Bhagat, Palanichami, thank you very much. Captain Raja Rao, thank you very much. Like I said, the Kaveri dispute needs to be solved, and perhaps we can think out of the box, and that's what I tried doing today, asking whether Rahul Gandhi can step in and solve the problems between Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. So from Kaveri, let's sail further, as they say. You know what's the big show at 10 p.m. today? Something that you can never ever miss. Duologue, TV9's Borun Das in candid conversation with former Indian cricketer Mithali Raj. Don't miss the show.
What happened on 8th June 2022? Sportsperson like Sania Mirza or Saina Nehwal, they get written about more than the women's cricketer.
Journalist for some reason doesn't like an athlete. The narrative is very different.
Don't you think that a very, very focused approach should be there to create an ecosystem for producing champions?
There are also some girls, they say like, Didi, school में तो कोई नहीं है हमारा, हम खेलना चाहते हैं लेकिन boys team में लेते नहीं है.
In the huddle, do you tell your team members that let's go and fight, or you tell them let's go and win?
The purpose of you being in the tournament, that you've come to win.
Duologue with Borun Das featuring Mithali Raj. World premiere on Connected TV. Tonight at 10. Only on News9 Live. India's first and only digital exclusive English news stream for Connected TV. Supported by Alliance Broadband.
You know, when political parties fight or when allies fight with each other, it often becomes attacking them under the belt, below the belt. This time around, that's what happened in Tamil Nadu. And I think that it's going to really have major repercussions as we move along and hurtle down 2024. You know what I'm talking about? The AIADMK, which has ended its alliance with the BJP in Tamil Nadu. If you ask me, I think it's advantage AIADMK, which is not only the larger and more mature party, but also a true blue Tamil party. The last straw for the AIADMK to sever ties with BJP was because one man, that cop-turned politician and president of Tamil Nadu BJP, K. Annamalai. AIADMK lashed out at Annamalai for having acted against the alliance dharma, and this is not the first time. You know what is the first instance? Was when Annamalai spoke about corrupt leaders. This was when he released the DMK files, of course, which caused Parnivel Thiagarajan, his finance ministry. And at that time, Annamalai referred to many other leaders who were jailed for corrupt practices in Tamil Nadu. The AIADMK was quick to lash out at Annamalai for what they thought was him pointing fingers at Jayalalitha. At the time, ex-Chief Minister Edappadi Palaniswamy had openly said, when queried about Annamalai, and this was in the open when he was actually addressing the press, He said, and I am quoting him, "Don't ask questions about him. I am ready to respond to remarks of mature politicians, not him." Ouch! A very, very strong statement indeed coming from Edappadi Palaniswamy. The AIADMK, since losing the assembly elections, has of course been struggling to register its presence amongst the people by raking up several issues, also the recent row on Kaveri with Karnataka. But all that really did not fall into place, you know. It is the major opposition party, and you know why? That is because it was in alliance with the BJP. And look at the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam, that is the ruling DMK. Amongst other things, it had a very powerful weapon up its sleeve to always attack the AIADMK. It always said, "Why are you talking? You are with the BJP, so don't talk." Let us not forget, ladies and gents, that Dravidian parties for long have viewed Delhi parties and politicians as Hindi speaking and anti-Tamil, and thus have a major dislike towards them. For example, even Tandai Periyar, who it is said had several issues with both Jawaharlal Nehru as well as C. Rajagopalachari. Meanwhile, led by K. Annamalai, the BJP, which has only an iota of a presence, look, I am not biased, but I am saying very clearly that you take out the record, BJP does not have a major presence in Tamil Nadu. It was making relevant noises, you know, that is the change that perhaps Annamalai brought. The DMK files being one, which was really an excellent weapon of destruction that Annamalai employed, and also the recent Padayatra called Yen Man Yen Makkal. He met people all over, people were saying that they came to listen to, because Annamalai speaks well. Now, this BJP wave, although super tiny and only in some areas, somehow rattled the AIADMK, for it was and is the stronger entity when compared with the BJP. The AIADMK watched from the wings, even as Edappadi was seen making several trips to Delhi to meet with Modi, Shah and Nadda. Now, many asked, how come Palaniswamy met the Delhi leaders while Annamalai was absent from these meetings? After all, Annamalai is part of the BJP. In the recent spat between Annamalai and AIADMK, the former had made a remark about Dravidian icon and ex-Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Annadurai, about how he had been corrected by Muthuramalinga Thevar, yet another icon. The AIADMK was livid because, you know, AIADMK, the first A stands for Anna. So, the AIADMK decided to confront Annamalai head on. Senior leader D. Jayakumar said, and I am quoting him, "What qualification do you have to talk about leaders like Periyar, MGR, Amma or our leader Edappadi K. Palaniswamy?" That is what he asked. Despite several warnings to stop passing comments, he did not listen, and our cadres will no longer remain silent. So, first Jayakumar came out, I think it was around the 18th, he came out and he said, "It's over." And then it took Edappadi Palaniswamy so long to confirm it, because he was checking what needs to be done. But then, like I said, AIADMK is the big brother, BJP in Tamil Nadu is tiny, and with that it was curtains for the AIADMK BJP alliance. I started this conversation by saying that it's advantage AIADMK. The reasons I'll tell you are as follows. First, it can now reclaim its status as a Dravidian party. Earlier, because it was in truck with BJP, people saw it as maybe yes, no, but now it's a true blue Dravidian party. With the ruling DMK facing many problems like corruption, jailing of Senthil Balaji, all those are also reasons which actually strengthens the AIADMK. The invoking, of course, of Sanatana Dharma by Udayanidhi Stalin, the audio tapes released by none other than K. Annamalai, in which allegedly family members of Muka Stalin were heard clearly discussing what sounded like a financial deal, and of course, the great fall of the mighty PTR. The AIADMK minus the BJP can play the principal opposition party now with aplomb. It has so many issues that it can address. It's bad news for the BJP, as the AIADMK is clearly focusing not on 2024, but on 2026. For the BJP, however, it's going to be extremely tough going alone in Tamil Nadu. Experts and even opposition DMK are accusing AIADMK and BJP of enacting a drama. They say this is all just an act, nothing will happen, the two will come together before 2024. If that happens, then I can safely say that the AIADMK, which still has strong pockets in Tamil Nadu, may be reduced to what the JDS is today in Karnataka, irrelevant and verbose. Therefore, its advantage AIADMK, and AIADMK needs to relook at politics in Tamil Nadu with fresh eyes. And with that, the South Indian says, Vanakkam, and don't miss that show, Varun Das in Conversation with Mithali Raj at 10. Thank you.
What happened on 8th June 2022? Sportsperson like Sania Mirza or Saina Nehwal, they get written about more than the women's cricketer.
Journalist for some reason doesn't like an athlete. The narrative is very different.
Don't you think that a very, very focused approach should be there to create an ecosystem for producing champions?
There are also some girls, they say like, Didi, school में तो कोई नहीं है हमारा, हम खेलना चाहते हैं लेकिन boys team में लेते नहीं है.
In the huddle, do you tell your team members that let's go and fight, or you tell them let's go and win?
The purpose of you being in the tournament, that you've come to win.
Duologue with Varun Das featuring Mithali Raj. World premiere on Connected TV. Tonight at 10. Only on News9 Live, India's first and only digital exclusive English news stream for Connected TV. Supported by Alliance Broadband.
BrahMos. Stealthy, lethal, precise. It flies at 3 times the speed of sound and cuts through a warship like a hot knife through butter. China's navy has threatened its neighbors, and they are turning to the BrahMos for protection. The Warship Killer. This and more streaming on world's first news OTT, News9 Plus. Download now.
He thought he could outlast us. And 1 year later, the evidence is right here in this room.
Who will blink first?